Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Blessing again. Have you missed me? Have you missed me? Have you missed me? Because I've missed you too. If you have not missed me, it's because you're not subscribed. So click the subscribe button, join the family, and let's get acquainted. Let's get close. Let's get personal. Okay, today is a video I'm really excited about because I am a Nollywood fanatic, okay? Since I was a kid, I've loved Nollywood. I've been watching Nollywood, Yoruba movies, English movies. I loved Nollywood. I still do, okay? But as I grew older, I really wasn't a big fan of the kind of Nollywood movies that were being produced. Even when people were cussing Nollywood movies, insulting them, sometimes rightfully so, I still stood strong. I said, no, I'm not going to give up on my Nollywood. But it just came a time when even me, I was just like, you know what, it's okay. Let me give it a rest. So I stopped watching English Nollywood movies. I still watch Yoruba movies. But in the recent years, Nollywood has actually taken a huge step up. Whenever I see people cuss Nollywood movies, I'm like, listen, what you're cussing is Nollywood of the past. Nollywood back in the days, things have actually changed. Nollywood don't make movies like they used to. A lot of movies are heavily invested in. A lot of movies are produced really well. And actually, recently, a lot of our movies have actually come onto Netflix. They are that good. They are that well produced that they're on Netflix. I watched a few recently and I've just been like, wow. This is next level. So this video is going to be 5 Nollywood movies that you can watch on Netflix that you're going to love. I'm telling you, you will love these movies. No, anyways, I'm going to be telling you about the 5 movies, although one is a series that I recently watched on Netflix that I think you should give a go. So let me stop talking and let's get into it. So the number 1 movie that you have to watch if you have not watched yet, I don't know what you're doing, is King of Boys by Auntie. I have to call her Auntie or Mommy because she is a veteran. When it comes to Nollywood movies, Yoruba and English, she is master of the craft. Okay, so Mommy Shola Shubowale is the King of Boys, and she's basically a female gangster, if that makes sense. I think that's what you'd call her. She's a very wealthy, influential, powerful woman in society, but really she has a group of boys that run around and do her bidding for her. And she's very ruthless, she's very cutthroat, and she runs an empire essentially. So the movie kind of follows her and her boys. She's the King of Boys, so the boys that are under her. But obviously the face of her business is that she is a she's a clothes tradesman, so she sells clothes, but everyone really knows that she's dangerous and what she really does, but her front is that she sells textiles. She's been supporting this political man and backing them and giving them money and sponsoring their campaigns and everything in the hopes that she would also be appointed for a political position. But when it comes time to be appointed, they're like, no, you have a bit of a reputation, da, 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 da. So obviously she gets angry and she's like, no, I'm not gonna have this. As well as one of her boys that is under her decides that he wants to now become the King of Boys. He doesn't want to be under her anymore. It's full of action, it's heated, acting top notch, cinematography top notch, everything is top notch. Okay, I give this movie 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10 out of 10. Go and watch it. King of Boys. It is a long movie. Let me warn you now. You're going to need food. You're going to need water. You're going to need some form of something because it's a long movie. But every single minute of the movie is worth it. I promise you. So the second movie that I watched that I am like, this movie had me in my feels. 2014, 2015 is when I first watched it. But then I watched it again recently, I think a couple days ago, and I was just blown away. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. This is an amazing movie. And this is one that was made by Mr. Kunle Afolayan. So October the 1st kind of is set in 1960 when the British Empire still had control of Nigeria. So it was kind of around the time of independence. It alluded to independence a lot. And basically we're introduced to this Inspector Waziri, and he had been quite famous. He's quite in with the white leaders because he had solved a series of crime, especially one in Enugu of a white man had been killed, and he solved the crime and they punished the black man that killed him. So they invited him because there's been 2 deaths in the town of Akote. Right, so 2 people had died, 2 women had died, they'd been raped and murdered. And so they invited this inspector to go down to Akote, and I hope I'm saying that right, to go down to Akote and solve the murders, and hopefully he needs to solve it in time for Independence Day. So he goes down to Akote, and on his first day there, the prince also arrives in town. So there's celebration, there's festivity, and you know, he gets to learn just a bit more about the culture and what's going on. So the story continues. That night another woman is raped and killed, and throughout the course of the movie, I think maybe another 2 women are raped and killed, so 5 women altogether. And throughout the whole time they're trying to figure out who's doing this, why are they doing this, and the story just leads on so powerfully to expose who the killer is. I think if you're like me, Sha, I knew early on, from like, I knew almost from jump who the killer was. I just get these kind of movies. The movie is not predictable at all, but I think Mr. Folanyo deliberately wants you to know who the killer is. I think quite early on it becomes clear who the killer is. I don't think they try to hide it, but the reason why he's killing and like whether or not they're gonna catch him is the suspense, if that makes sense. Guys, when I tell you that this movie is one of my favorite movies ever, you have to go and watch it. You actually have to go and watch it. And it's such a very, very, very good representation of what it was like around independence, during independence time, what the dynamics was between, you know, the white people and the black people. And even the main character, Inspector Waziri, I don't know if he's the main character, but one of the prominent characters, he is not a young man. He's probably in his 50s or 60s. He's quite old, and the white person in charge, I don't know what the guy's role is supposed to be, keeps referring to him as Danny Boy throughout the beginning of the movie. And it's something that irks me. Like, it irks you because the guy doesn't say anything. It just says yes sir, yes sir. And then at the end of the movie, the guy is like, my name is not Danny Boy, it's Denaldi Waziri. Guys, 10 out of 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 10. Okay, in fact 11 out of 10. This was an amazing movie, so well produced, and it just kind of gives you an insight to what Nigeria being under the British Empire was like. Just a glimpse. It's just a glimpse, but it is so touching. You will not regret it. Please watch it and come back and tell me what you thought. The next one is not a movie, it's a series. It's called Castle in Castle, and this is just very interesting because it's like a Nigerian version of Suits. Not version in the sense that they tried to be like Suits, but just because it's about a law firm and Castle and Castle. So Tega and Remilekun Castle are a married couple who run this top Lagos law firm, and it's got a series of other lawyers in there, and basically it just kind of follows. It's just, if you've ever wondered what a top Nigerian law firm works like, now listen, I have not worked in a top Nigerian law firm, so I cannot verify if this is based on fictional or non-fictional events. I can't verify how true it is, but in the movie world, what you would assume that a Nigerian law firm would be like, that's what this is like. Okay, so it's full of drama, it's funny, it's got comedy. It's just if you like Suits and you would be interested in seeing a Nigerian version of Suits, this is for you. That's all I'm gonna say. But it is very good, it's very interesting, you will like it. The acting is also top notch. Like, all these movies I'm telling you have like veteran actors that have been acting from the beginning of time and have crafted and honed their skills, and honestly you will love it. So if you're looking for a series to watch, I think there's 2 or 3 seasons and they're quite long. So Castle in Castle. The next movie is The Setup. Now this movie is another fast-paced action movie. It's not action, but it's kind of action. And basically it's about 2 women who, as children, one of them's father dies, so the other one's father takes her in. And so the dad is not really the best kind of person. They grow up in kind of a rough environment. They see the dad fighting people, killing people, and then at some point the dad wants to sell his daughter into prostitution. I think the guy's offering them, a guy wants to take the daughter to Italy or whatever, pimp her out, and is offering the dad ₦1,000,000. And somehow the girl that the dad took in comes out and gives him ₦1,000,000 and is like, here's your money, you're not selling my daughter. And so the girl and her friend runs away after she pays for her. We find out that how she got the ₦1,000,000 was by agreeing to traffic drugs for a drug dealer. So she's promised him 3 trips to Malaysia, and that's how she got the ₦1,000,000 to save her friend. So they entered a life of drugs. Eventually it catches up with them, and then this woman comes as their savior, I suppose, and says if they come and work for her, they won't be caught by the police, or she'll help them escape from the police, whatever. She won't turn them into the police. They don't want to be caught, so they go and work for the woman who runs an academy, which kind of seems like a whorehouse, but it's apparently not a whorehouse. Apparently it's like a, I don't really know. Apparently it's a private gentleman's club where men come to relax, but then they also do kind of weird stuff, like a pharmaceutical company. I don't know. It's a bit like undercover agent fighting people, scamming people type of vibe. So if that's your type of vibe, then that's what this movie is. It's got Adesua Etomi in it. If you watch Nollywood, then she'll know who she is. She is so beautiful. It's actually unreal. Very beautiful. The movie's well acted. Jim Ike is another veteran actor. He has been Jim Ike. Dakari Eggleston as well. She's in Castle and Castle. So a lot of these movies, sometimes you'll see the same faces because, you know, it's people that are doing well. I would say that at some point they start to lose me because there's just too many remembering. They're remembering too many things that I've already seen. But a really good movie. And last but not least is A Light in the Dark. Now this one's not like a fast-paced movie or a long movie or anything of the sort. It's actually a very different type of movie. It's more of a moralistic, ethical movie. This one is got Kalu I can't pronounce his name, Ikegu, and Rita Dominic. Both of them are veteran actors. They play a intertribal couple who's, I guess, I don't really know why their intertribalness really has anything to do with the movie. It doesn't, but they show a little bit of background information. The parents don't really want them to be together, blah, 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 blah. Fast forward, they're married 10 years. They're married for 11 years. They have a 10-year-old daughter, and they're trying to get pregnant again. And then there is a home invasion. So a home invasion happens that changes the course of their lives forever. Okay, so I'm not going to give too much away. If you know where that's gonna go, but basically that is it. And it kind of just follows their journey from when the home is invaded and what happens from then on. So it is a really good movie. It's definitely more slower paced than all the other movies I mentioned. The characters are very black and white in a sense. It's like good people and bad people. Like none of the good people do anything bad and the bad people are just bad. But it is a really good movie in terms of production and quality wise. Like I was watching it like, oh my gosh, Nollywood has just blown. They have moved from where they used to be. Like I don't want to hear anyone say anything about Nollywood. No Nollywood slander will be tolerated because the amount of effort, money, and like just wonderfulness that's been put in these movies is actually amazing. So if you're someone who likes Nollywood or would like to get into Nollywood and you're thinking like, I don't know good Nollywood movies to watch, these are 5 Nollywood movies that you can watch on Netflix. There are so many different ones on there as well actually. So if you like this kind of video, let me know. I can make more, give you monthly recommendations or regular recommendations of movies that you should watch on Nollywood. Let me know down below what movies on Netflix. Let me know down below what movies you've watched on Netflix that you liked or that you enjoyed, that you want to share with us. And I will see you guys in my next one. What a fraud. Get down on your waistline.